Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm Hammer, and I'm joined by my two favoriteest Wednesday show hosts ever, Jen T. Maxey.
Hello.
And Terry Diamantis.
Hello.
How you doing, Terry?
I am all right. How about you?
I am well. Jen, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Everybody's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody out on the internet can now rest easy because we're all okay.
Yes. Indeed.
It's funny, but you know, people who watch the Rumble show know that we've already established that we're all okay.
Yeah.
Because we're not on YouTube, we have to reestablish the fact that we're still okay. And everybody does that.
A lot can change in 30 minutes.
30, yeah, that's true.
I'm not on a vault line, Terry. You are. Be careful. I'm kidding.
Well,
I actually don't know what I'm near. I think I'm near. I think I'm close to the Yellowstone Park shit. So I have a boom boom to look forward to.
I'm not near anything.
Yeah.
There's nothing around me anywhere.
Lucky you.
In the middle of nowhere. Before we get into the topics, let's go ahead and say hey everybody in chat.
So over on Rumble, we have Jack Gunsky. We have Jack Gunsky. We have Jack Gunsky. Okay. We also have Facial and Stevedan and T.
Jen?
Okay. So for ours, we got Hammer, we got Rotten Corpse, we got Kevadam, we got Tier, we got Libertarian Duelist, and we got Terry. Hi, Terry. And I think that's it for my list. My list is short.
Yep.
Actually, let me double check with the top chat.
Oh yeah, I've got to change it from top down.
I always forget too.
Who,
right?
Is that somebody? Is that a new person? Hello, Libertarian Duelist. Hello, who is that?
I'm pretty sure that's just somebody who changed their nickname. I just can't remember.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay, who is it? Fess up. Tell us who you are.
Then you get like 30 different people saying, it's me, it's me, it's me.
Yeah. That would be our audience. Do I want to dare even talk about the topics tonight?
Let's at least tell chat what they are.
Okay. Three topics are Vance, 4819, and checks. Those are the three for tonight. Vance, JD Vance went over to the UK and spanked
made them cry.
Made them cry, and they're all angry.
They had emotional damage.
Emotional
I do like
damage.
that soundbite.
It is great. 4819 is
Libertarian Duelist is apparently Critical Thinkers Guild. So that's who it is.
Welcome. 4819 is the Delta airplane that decided it wanted to land on its back instead of on its belly.
I mean, at least that one did have survivors. I was glad that one.
No fatalities, correct. Yeah. But we're going to talk about that at length. I definitely want to get to that tonight because you have a lot you want to talk about too as well. Checks is Doge, Department of
Government Efficiency.
Government Efficiency. Yeah. Thank you. This is a great announcement. May return 20% of the savings it finds back to U.S. citizens. We're going to be getting checks, folks. At least cool. I am. You guys aren't.
Let's
see if that happens.
We had that during the global financial crisis in 2008. The Australian government gave, I forget how much it was, like $900 stimulus checks to everyone.
That's nice.
To make sure people kept spending money during the crisis. So
they gave you some of your own money back.
Yeah, basically.
Very nice. Doge saying that they might do that. So we'll see if that ever happens. But
to be honest, I'd rather they just hold the people accountable.
Yeah,
so I think stop having it happen.
Yeah.
See, I think long term it might be better to pay off the debt, the national debt.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see doing something like this is buying a lot of public goodwill as well. So that's possibly more valuable than interest rates.
Yeah, if Trump's popularity rate starts to decline, it might be a nice boink and push him back up again. But otherwise, I agree with Jen. I'd rather see it go, like you said, to the national debt or to something more beneficial to us overall than just getting a check.
So, I mean, it makes sense that you do want to like stimulate the economy, give people money so they keep spending it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I just want them to go after the people who are using our taxpayer dollars for their own fucking art projects. I don't care what the art project is. It could be Diddler's Paradise. I don't know. I don't care. But I'd like them all to be punished so that they stop doing it, or at least have
Okay, so
deterrent.
after you've arrested the entire government, what's next?
Right?
Yeah.
Proper deterrent.
That's good. That's a good point. Who do you arrest? Everybody.
Yeah. But just
I'm
start
okay
building new
with
jails.
going a little bit like, you know, I keep trying to bring this up with the Brits and they laugh at me because I don't know my British history as well as they do. But, you know, one of the revolutions where you're like, hey, royalty, remember when we would just hang you for being a bunch of fucking assholes?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to be that heated. It's just
Might be heated.
when you're in charge of a whole fucking country, or when you're in control of what goes on the world stage. Yeah, I hate to break it to you. A lot of blood is on your hands now.
Mm-hmm. No, you're not wrong.
I just
And Gunsky says, "How about insider trading? Let's audit the politicians."
Yeah.
we already said we're arresting all of them. There's no need.
Don't even audit them. Just arrest them. We know you did something. We'll figure out what it is later.
Yeah.
Arrest you now. Just a quick show note. There's a good chance I might get pulled away from the show for a period of time, maybe up to 10 minutes. My next door neighbor is bringing me a gift. When you're receiving a gift, it's not polite to tell the person who's giving you the gift when they can give you the gift.
Yeah.
So
it
he said
he knocks on the door and he's like, "Fuck off, I'm streaming."
Yeah. Probably not going to get the gift then if that happens.
Probably not.
In either case, sitting next to me is my phone, which is watching my security system, which is pointing out the front window, looking for when he comes over to my house. So
Cool.
I may have to step away for a period of time, but Jen and Terry will
That's
take care of the show and probably do a better job than I do anyway. So
Yeah.
just as well.
And the libertarian duelist says, "I think Trump should sign an executive order that bans insider trading for 100 years." I'm pretty sure it's already illegal.
Yeah, but we're doing it anyway.
Yeah,
You know?
so like making it extra illegal isn't going to stop anyone.
Yeah, well, maybe it may slow it down a little bit, at least, if nothing else, because people are like, Nancy Pelosi is worth how much money?
Yeah.
What they should do is every 5 years, what they're going to do is they're going to publicly go through, find out who the worst of the worst are. They should go after everyone, but obviously it's not working. But you go after the worst of the worst, and you make it obvious what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Make it very clear that if you do this shit, you won't have a good time.
Yeah,
You
no,
fucked around. You need to find out.
Yeah.
No, I do think if they picked just some person and made an example out of them, it would probably scare a lot of others into at least
Complying.
reducing the amount of the blatancy of what they were doing.
I know it sounds harsh and like I'm just being a mega bitch, but sometimes you look in history and you're like, yeah, I can see why they were so fucking malicious with these people, because they don't learn. They really don't learn. They need to find out.
Yeah. And Dunsky says, don't make a redundant law. Yeah, I agree. It's already illegal. You don't need to make it extra illegal.
Well, they have to prosecute people.
You need to start enforcing the existing law. You don't need to make a new one to say the same
That's
thing.
what I mean. Enforce the existing, make it clear. Look, we are enforcing it right now. Look, as we bring up names, shame some people, let other people know in the computer, if you do this, this is going to be you next year.
That's something they can
do right away. I agree. I think
they can make the violation public. That's almost as bad as actually prosecuting them.
Yeah, I think there's no point having a law if you don't enforce it. And so if you just start enforcing the law and make it clear to everyone that you will be enforcing the law from this point forward, they're going to start being, oh shit, maybe not be so brazen about what we're doing.
I honestly think that's why they were so flashy about it in the past, you know, because after a certain point, the lack of actual justice, it really does piss people off. They start thinking, well, why should we bother being good people if the people who are being bad barely get a slap on the wrist? Humans are simple. We are. We don't like seeing injustice. We don't like seeing people get away with bullshit.
It's not just humans. Animals don't like injustice. Like if you have like dogs and you like deliberately give one more food than the other, they've actually shown like they will like share the food with the other dog because they understand the inherent unfairness of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it's got to be a dog that's like part of the family, but
right.
Still,
like,
it's
like they understand that it's unfair for like one dog to get, 2 treats and the other dog to get none. So it'll actually, no, this is unfair, and it'll share the treat with the other dog.
I like the videos where they go to feed the dog and they give him one piece of food in their bowl. And the dog looks at the piece of food and then looks back up at the human, looks back down at the food, looks back at the human, like, what the fuck are you doing? Some of them will growl, like they're pissed that you did that, like, all right, here's more food.
Well, they're trying to figure out if you're serious or not, because dogs are used to humans try to be funny. Yeah. You're not funny, man. You're not funny.
I've gotten into watching The Dog Whisperer, Cesar Millan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have a show on TV anymore. I think all he has is his YouTube channel now. And he's still doing new content.
I know him from South Park because there was an episode where he was.
I keep meaning to.
Cartman.
Yeah, I keep meaning to rewatch his because he did do a response video to his episode.
Yeah, I did see that one.
He's kind of a meme, but if you actually watch the show, it's pretty amazing what he does. I mean, there's very much a step-by-step process that works, but you have to know which steps to take when. And the thing that's really crazy about him is how he can tell what a dog is thinking. He can look at a dog and he'll hear a dog bark and he says, that's this kind of bark. He knows the difference between what barks mean at a distance. Like he'll walk past a house and he'll hear a bark and say, that dog is this or that dog is that. And he'll be right. They'll prove it that he was right. But he says that's a nervous bite. He says, or he'll say that's a territorial bite. Or not bite, bark. And then he'll say, no, that's an aggressive bark. And when they go into the house, they prove that what he said at a distance is correct. No,
I mean, it's very impressive that anyone is able to do that.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, can you listen to a dog bark and know what kind of bark it is? I have no fucking clue.
No. I just assume they're all hungry barks. Yeah, the dog's hungry, feed it.
Yeah. But then, I mean, just that ability, and that goes through everything he does, because he can watch a dog, how it behaves, and say, he's doing this because of this. And then you see, and he proves it's right. He says, if we take this away, he won't do that. He takes it away, and the dog doesn't do it anymore. And how dogs can read human energy. Man, people, you hear people say, well, I'm bringing my personal energy. And you think to yourself, oh, that's bullshit. That's meditation. I don't want to hear about that crap. That's tarot cards. That's crystals. Don't give me any of that bullshit. Yeah. But for him, it's obvious that it is a difference in how you present yourself. And it's not just your body language. It's almost like some kind of, they can read your body language. So there is some kind of energy or presentation involved. So they know, a dog comes up and starts barking at him and he just walks up to him and he stares down at him from above. And they're like, this guy's not backing away from me. Maybe he's serious. And then the dog backs away. Right. And he says, see, it's how you present your energy. And that's what he calls it, his energy. It's more of a posture than anything else, but it works. It's just amazing to see him in, for as much as he's a meme, the whole thing on the cartoons and all that kind of stuff and how people talk about him. But to see him in action is like very impressive. Very impressive.
Oh, that whole thing was more of a pun based off of Cartman's mom. Because there's always a running gag that Cartman's mom is a whore. So bringing that guy into it was basically about his mom hitting on, like, Cartman spent the whole time, like, he was in trouble with his mom, and he's supposed to be getting training from this guy. And then to get rid of him, he's like, well, if I pit him against my mom, knowing that his mom is a whore.
Yeah.
I was never a big South Park fan. I think I've mentioned that before, so I don't know most of these references anyway. So
yeah, a lot of celebrities really just kind of got dragged in because they were neat. Like if the makers kind of thought this person was interesting as a person, there was a good chance they would make a character based off of them. If they had a reoccurring character, that was a good sign that the character they were making fun of didn't handle it well in the first place. So now they're doubling down on making fun of you.
Yes.
Like Barbara Streisand is an example of that. So same as Tom Cruise.
I do think it's funny that anyone would get offended at being made fun of in South Park. It's like
some badge of honor, isn't it?
It is, yeah. For a lot of them, it's a real badge of honor.
So
if you want to stop it, embrace it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Barbara Streisand was a bitch about it. But
the whole Streisand effect was based on her.
Yeah,
like you saw what Cartman was like. It was based off of Caesar being a nanny. But if you watch the whole episode, you see what he does to the other nannies, and what he does to the other nannies is nothing in comparison to Caesar. Him just seeing his mom as a whore against him is just the plot.
No, I mean, it's a good. I like the earlier seasons more than the later ones, but South Park is still really good.
Older seasons are more clever. The later ones got too. They've always had a little bit of understanding where there is a little bit of current day in there, so you're kind of aware of where the world is at the stage.
That was my problem with it. It was too topical. It was too current day.
Yeah, that's what went wrong. Like it went from like an alternative world with hints of current day to being too much current day.
Because like if you watch one of the earlier seasons, it doesn't matter what year you're watching it in, the jokes still land. Whereas if you're watching one of the later seasons and you've forgotten the particular cultural reference that they're talking about, then the whole thing falls apart. It's like it's very sort of it's no longer timeless. It's very dated once you start bringing real world into it.
Yeah. It kind of is though. Like they go from like Bill Clinton to Obama to Trump for a little bit, and then everyone kind of got butthurt over the Trump stuff, even though some of it was actually funny.
Yeah,
I believe in making fun of Trump because Trump is a funny guy.
See, I don't. I mean, obviously, make fun of Trump. That's fine. I didn't like them making Garrison a direct parallel to Trump. That felt like they were getting too
personal with
current
it.
day.
Yeah.
Like you can have a funny politician without it being Trump, and especially with all the other people going after Trump, it comes across as just lazy.
It's also, you have an example of them going after other celebrity politicians.
Yeah.
And there's this, you can tell there's a difference between their Obama and their Trump.
Yeah, for sure. But,
well, you got to be careful when you make fun of Trump, because if you make fun of him, he'll become president.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened.
He'll have super emperor powers if you.
Well, that's what happened. Obama went after him, made fun of him that he was going to trying to be president, and Trump said, "Well, fine, fuck you. I'll be president. Fuck you." And so, got to be careful.
I think it was a mistake to have a character based on Obama, just as much as I preferred South Park when it was a fictional universe that, like, sure, it was like set in South Park, Colorado, but it was an alternate universe, South Park, Colorado, with no connection to our own world.
It was more of when they did references to stuff, you could see it being a pun on anything. Like when they did the WoW episode. Yeah, it's World of Warcraft. That doesn't mean,
But, like, I prefer it when, like, you could have stuff like Mecha Streisand, which makes like no sense in like the real world. That is perfectly South Park.
I've never seen the episode. I have no idea what you're talking about. Just the thought of a mecha version of Pelosi, or Streisand, that is, it just makes me laugh. It's funny on the surface.
They have legendary episodes. Like, there's just some that are outstanding, but the ones that are outstanding really don't have a lot to do with politics. Like, I remember there's this one where all the kids are pretending to be a superhero. I think it was Capcom or Marvel or something, but they're imagining themselves as these characters, and it ends up with Cartman being naked on a stage because he envisions himself as this giant sumo wrestler-looking character who's invisible. So he thinks no one can see him, but he ends up on a stage completely butt naked.
Yep.
It's a fantastic episode. Has nothing to do with the real world. It's meant to be boys fantasizing about being Marvel characters.
Yeah, well, that's it. that's what I prefer. I prefer when it's not tied into the real world. Like making fun of celebrities is like fine, I suppose, but you know, like you had the demon that was summoned because they said shit too many times and it destroyed South Park.
They had a counter for every time somebody said shit. It was great.
Yeah. Oh, and Kevin mentioned Scott Tenorman. Yeah, that was my favorite episode with Scott Tenorman Must Die, where he keeps tricking Cartman into buying Scott Tenorman's pubes, and Cartman gets so angry that he kills Scott Tenorman's parents and tricks him into eating them.
Yeah, Cartman's one of those kids that you really don't want to underestimate. Like he is a bit of a dummy until you piss him off, and then you realize that he's got like a contract with Satan that makes him a genius for just long enough to fuck you over.
Yeah.
Then he goes back to being stupid.
Yeah, and then they're saying that was the one where they buy ninja weapons. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
One of the ones with Cartman is the Power of the Christ, where he decides he's going to reenact the Power of the Christ to go after the Jews in response to Kyle. And then Stan and Kenny spend the entire time trying to get their money back because they thought the movie was crappy.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you haven't watched it. Sorry, Hammer.
That's okay. I'm enjoying the conversation. Good.
But like it's kind of like that with certain shows. I would never actually be like, watch a whole show. You know, the amount of times somebody's done that to me, and I've been like, you know what? I can understand a couple of episodes here, but it ain't for me.
Yeah. Tyrion Chat says Scott Tenorman is Cartman's half brother. That's true, and I think that was stupid. I don't think they should have done that. I think they should have left it where Cartman's father is his mother because she's a hermaphrodite, and then that's like the joke, and then just left it alone. This is just have no further interaction with like the question of who his father or mother or anything is. Making Scott Tenorman his half brother was just stupid. I'm not a fan of that.
Cartman was mad that he was only a half ginger. Yeah, because he thinks all the Jews are ginger. Actually, not a lot of Jews are actually ginger. Some of them are.
No, that was two separate things. It wasn't that all the Jews are ginger. He found out that he was Scott Tenorman's half brother, so he realized he was half ginger himself.
No, the thing with Cartman is that he had a rivalry with Kyle. So Kyle is two things. He's Jewish and he has ginger hair. It doesn't, like, the two things being the same has nothing to do with each other. It's just because it's Kyle.
I would think that's just the opposite. Ginger people are fair skinned. They're not anything like your typical.
No, I agree.
I think that's what made it funny. That's kind of
Jew with ginger hair.
Yeah, well, Kyle does have bright red hair. It's just hidden under his hat most of the time.
It like the running gag here. Like, in all honesty, Kyle could have been anything. It's the fact that it's Kyle.
Yeah,
but like, this is just a rivalry between two boys. Kyle could have been Christian, and Cartman's gonna find something about him that's still fucking wrong because he's got an imaginary rivalry with this kid.
Kyle is a day walker because he's a ginger that can be outside in the sun.
I think that's something that prevents me from being a problem in the real world. Is I do have some ginger in me. I'm half Irish in me, and I was born with red hair. Very little of it, but I didn't have much hair when I was a baby. But I used to be a ginger, but my hair got darker pretty quick. So I have Irish, Welsh, and Czechoslovakian. So I think that's what saved me from not bursting into flames when I walk outside.
I'll be honest, I got no idea what's in, like, what my ancestry is. Well, I know my dad's side is Greek. I don't know anything about my mum's side because she was adopted. So I have no idea what her birth parents were made of. So
Jim, what are you made out of?
I could be anything. I could be anything.
I actually don't know either. Like, I could give you the list of what my parents are, but I was adopted and I didn't look. I lean with what my parents have, and I don't
Have you made
But that's
any
my
attempt
adopted parents.
to track down your birth parents?
Nope.
No interest?
When I was younger, yes. Now that I'm older, no.
Well,
Yeah.
they may not even be around, depending on where in the life cycle you were born. If you were born late, if she was in, if she was in her 40s, you know.
Oh no. Like I have paperwork for that adoption.
Mhm.
Like I don't have it on me, but
No.
like my parents did go through a private adoption.
Mhm.
So they do get a level of information on who the parents are. But my mom was in her I think it wasn't mid-20s, a little bit younger than mid-20s, but she looked like somebody who was just going through college and then was like, I don't think I can do a baby. It's basically every indicator that I got from her says that. But I grew up listening to too many stories of kids living with the fantasy life that finding their birth parents will somehow magically make their life better, as though the parents that just adopted them aren't worthy of them or something. And so I just went really opposite with that because my parents have done everything for me.
Yeah.
No. So
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter who your birth parents are. Your real parents are the ones who raised you. So if you were adopted, then your real parents are your adopted parents. And
that's just how my brother and I saw it. Like if we ever did meet our parents, you know, it'd be like, okay, but you didn't raise me. You know, I don't really have.
Yeah, exactly. Your birth parents are basically genetic donors and little else. If they didn't raise you, if they put you up for adoption, then they're genetic donors, but they're not your parents.
I mean, at this point, I'd be like, well, I'm grateful that you didn't abort me, because if it was this day and age, you know, the chances of survival not very good. But they weren't the ones to love me when I needed the love, and they weren't the ones to make sure I was behaving when I needed to know how to behave. So I can't give them that credit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm sorry for laughing, but my YouTube it's not what you guys are saying. My YouTube chat is on the far side of my right monitor, which is difficult to see, especially because I've been having problems with my eyes lately. I know I sound like monkey, but Keyberdam said I'm a brunette with red undertones, but at distance, trying to read that, what I read the first time was I'm a brunette with red underwear.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that's kind of intimate to say on the chat box. But you're a brunette, right? And Terry, your brown
my hair is very black.
Black, really?
It's getting more and more gray as I get older, but no, it's black. Black hair is just losing its color.
Jen has long
blonde hair,
curly underwear, curly hair, right?
I have blonde hair.
You have blonde hair?
Wavy.
Okay.
It's blonde.
When I saw you, your camera's kind of like a bit of a potato, right?
It's not so much my camera, it's so much as my lighting in my room. Like I even
dark.
I live in one of those apartments where they have the lights in the kitchen and maybe one in the hallway, and then the rest of the living room is like, good luck with that. I did have a lamp. I do have a current one. I might need to replace that because my parents got that one. I don't think they were thinking of the light bulb. It's a particular shape. You know when you get a lamp and it's a particular shape light bulb and you're like, where else am I going to get another one of these?
Yeah.
When I know someone has a disembodied voice and then I see like a video of them talking, my brain can't handle it.
Yeah.
like the first time I saw Satsu, like with his like face cam, I was like, you know, that sounds like Satsu, but I'm not used to seeing a person have that voice. It's like throws my brain to a spin.
I think it fits him though. I think he seems like a very relaxed person, and his voice is a very relaxing voice.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits him.
Sure, I'm just saying that like the first time I was like,
first time.
My brain was like, wait, that's Satsu's voice. Why is this man speaking with Satsu's voice? Like the answer is because it's Satsu, but
yeah. Well, I mean, I have a webcam. It's not on my computer anymore. It's on my server. So I can see, you know, if someone's out in the living room, there's a webcam connected to the server, which is out in the living room. It's a home theater PC /server. So it's connected out there. that way I can use it if I'm trying to do something where I'm working with video. So I have, you know, like if I'm trying to set up screens for YouTube, to have a remote video source is a benefit. So I put it out there. I used to have it on my machine. I put it out there because I didn't want it to somehow get turned on and someone to see me.
Right.
So I just put it out there. So if it gets turned on, they're going to see my living room. Who gives a shit? And that's the reason why I never bother getting any kind of camera for myself, because I never want my face on the internet. So why would I have a camera?
I didn't want a chance becoming an internet thought.
Yeah.
I know that's not something that I think some women do try to. I'm just saying, I do think some women do try to do the internet and then get thrown into the thought pool because of.
Well, that's how you act, though. You don't act anything like that.
But I think it depends, because if you are an attractive lady and then you realize that certain things get you more viewership, then there might be like a subconscious, well, maybe if I wear the low-cut shirt again.
Like there is a thing to advertising, you know, there is subconscious thought there, you know, and I honestly just wanted people to kind of like me based off of who I was first, rather than what I look like, because then I actually have a following that has credit, in my opinion. You liked me for me. You might not have liked me for me. Both things can happen, but it's not based off of superficial stuff that I can't do anything about, and I'm not going to. I also don't want to change myself for other people. Like I really, like I can I am a poor person, so the idea of someone giving me money to dress up as something, I can understand that, but I like my values and I like my pride.
Yeah.
I'd rather wait for a job, even if it's just flipping burgers.
Well, I mean, that's always been the option. Women can use, I mean, OnlyFans exists, you know, so.
Yes, it does. And before OnlyFans, they still had options to sell their bodies.
They did.
Less mainstream.
I don't like that kind of, I don't judge people for doing it. Like, it's just not my thing. I think there's value in other ways of going about it in life.
Well, I've seen
whether I'm good at it or not.
I've seen you. Terry, have you seen Jen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were there when she put her camera on, right?
I've also, I think she showed her face on Twitch.
Water.
And like I was curious at one time, so I found her Twitch channel. I was like, okay, that's what Jen looks like. And then
for the guys out there who don't know, Jen's cute, by the way. Just want to point that out. I'm trying to get you followers, Jen.
Yeah.
I do understand why women work that way. It's just, listen, I kind of value girls who can use their brains more. And is that me? Not necessarily. I wish I was more clever about some things.
Yeah.
You know, but
it's not what we're looking for, Jen. We're not looking for how clever you are.
Yeah.
I know, but you know, it shouldn't just be one thing either. There should be more to your substance than just how you look. Same with men.
Well, initial attraction is initial attraction. Even women base their initial reaction on a guy as how he looks, and guys do that too, except guys continue to do it. After they know you, they still value that.
Well, that's why they have that meme with like the handsome guy says, "Looking good, Susan," and it's like, "Oh, you're too kind," and then the creepy guy says, "Looking good, Susan," is like, "Human resources."
Yeah. It is true. Guys are visual. Women are more auditory. So if you sit there and you get past the initial, he's disgusting. If you get past that, then it's a good chance that you'll have a much better chance with a woman than a guy, because they just don't have the same priorities. It's not about your money. It's not about what college you went to. It's not about any of that kind of stuff. It's about, people say that men are very easy. You know, all you have to do is feed them, fuck them, and give them some peace, and they're pretty much okay.
Yeah. And they fuck them, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yes, that was the way I was gonna originally say it in my head. But there is a big list, and people don't realize that men actually do have that big list. They won't tell you because they're willing to settle for the basics. The basics fees, like Terry said. But there is a big list. You know, do you stand behind your guy when things get tough? That's very important to men. Loyalty.
Oh yeah.
You know, fidelity, very important to men. These are things that women don't seem to understand. Oh, I just kissed him. It wasn't a big deal. What? You're my girlfriend and you kissed another guy? You're
But,
gone, sweetheart. Bye. That's it. You know, women are like,
Yeah.
I just kissed the guy. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
different
even
values.
I wouldn't even want to do that to a female friend. Like if I have a female friend and they have a special other, I make it a point to try to think things through when I'm with that person. Not because the friend is that jealous or anything. It's out of
Not
respect
jealousy.
to both of them. It's about respect to both of them.
Exactly. It's about disrespect. It's about respect. You're absolutely right.
But there was an interesting thing where they were like asking men, if you met a woman who was 80% of everything you wanted, would you go out with her? They're like, fuck yeah, are you kidding? 80%? That's a catch. They asked the same thing to the women, and they're like, God, I'm not going to settle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even think we're really meant to. Like a lot of people forget that even though we're humans, we're still a biological species.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know,
women
we
are
are
designed
supposed-
to be, you give me the best of the best, and that's the way it is. Hypergamy is a real thing, and it's what's made us what we are. Being very exclusive has made us a dominant species.
A lot of the people who don't get chosen by hypergamy rail against it, but it's not actually a bad thing.
Well, it can be.
The way humans are designed to function. You don't need to structure your society around encouraging it. I think there's value in the more traditional conservative marriage approach, but you aren't going to get anywhere complaining that women act like women. That's futile. That's pointless.
Well, it's just nowadays we have women who are like, oh, look at me, I have a body count. And you're no longer limiting yourself to like, oh, it was 300. Oh, it was 400. It's thousands of men. And you're like, that's not how we work. We're really not meant to do that.
Yeah.
On a side note, did you hear Bonnie Blue's pregnant?
I did.
Boy, the consequences of my own actions.
Well, technically, she doesn't have to have the baby. I mean,
I guarantee you she's not having that baby.
No.
If you're sleeping with 1,000 guys, you don't have the morals to retain a child, that's for sure.
Well, I suppose it depends. If she can get 1,000 guys paying child support for it,
yeah, right. They're all the father.
Then she might keep it.
Yeah. What is she going to do? DNA test to find out which one it was?
I think she'll have to if she keeps it.
Yeah, you think those guys are going to submit to a DNA test?
Probably not.
They're gone to the wind. She'll never see those guys again.
And Keith says, who? Bonnie Blue is the skank that did 1,000 dudes in one day.
1,054.
That I never remember the exact number. Just
1,054 in 24 hours.
And 999 dudes are not the father, I guess. Well, I mean.
Yeah. Well, which one? That's the question. That's the whole reason behind all of this. That's the whole reason why it's important for men to have a woman who's just dedicated to them, because they want to know that child is their child, not someone else's child.
Yeah.
That's very important to men.
And thus the child of Cthulhu is born, because no one wants to claim the child, and it's all of them. They're all the father. It's one father, and this child is going to have octopus limbs.
Opinionated Scotsman says Lily Phillips is pregnant as well, apparently.
What was the girl who did 100?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised.
He was on the whatever podcast last night. I should go watch that, because she was on. She probably would have said it there.
But you realize this means that they didn't use protection when they were doing this vast number of men.
Yeah,
so,
correct.
I mean, I think the baby is not the concern. I think get yourself checked for every STD known to man.
Well, supposedly she did before and after, so I can't believe she went bareback. That's what really got me.
That's pretty disgusting, yeah.
Well, that's a dead end
they're
topic.
both gross. You're not wrong, Keeverdam. Like it's a little bit of self-respect too with that. Like, not just respect other people, but how about some self-respect? Try respecting your old temple first before you bitch about.
The only thing that bothers me about that is the women who jump behind her to defend her by saying the men are equally as responsible for being gross. These guys haven't been laid in 5 years. If you haven't been laid in 5 years, you're going to fucking take the chance. You're gonna.
Well, see, I'm going to say they are also disgusting, but not equally disgusting.
Right, right. That's the point I was making. But they try to justify her action by calling the guys equally as, disgusting. And I don't think that's true. Remember,
Yeah, no, I mean,
remember the whole process. They're injecting something into her. She's not injecting anything into them.
But also, I mean, they slept with one skank. She slept with 1,000 dudes.
Yeah.
Like the
1,000 skanks, male skanks.
Not the same.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just terrible all the way around.
Most
it's terrible.
of the responses I've had from men is judging the guys at the end. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if your number is any higher than 1, then I'm disgusted by you, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. I don't think well of the men.
No.
I think that they are lacking a certain level of morality, but I have to give them some kind of pass, because I mean, if there was a guy in that crew who's getting women on a regular basis, and is not married and, fits all the things that, all the criteria, then that guy's
definitely married is not joining that queue, and someone who can get women at the drop of a hat is not joining that queue.
Right. Well, I mean, it's possible they did. But the point being is that I don't think these guys would have had sex in a period of time, a significant period of time, if it wasn't for what she did. So I kind of give them a little bit, very tiny amount of a break on that. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Some women
I think it's still disgusting, but the level of disgust is nowhere near the amount of disgust that I have for Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips.
I think we just need to start shaming the voyeurs.
Well, there's leveling. There's even levels there. Bonnie Blue is beyond reproach. Lily Phillips, 100.
That's still disgusting.
It is, but there's still a level there. 1,000 versus 100. Yeah. But you do know that Lily's was intending to do 1,000 as well.
I do.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's why. I mean, just because she was beaten to it by Bonnie Blue doesn't make her less disgusting.
The thing is, she's a pretty girl. What is she doing this for?
Lily Phillips is pretty. I do not find Bonnie Blue attractive in the slightest.
I've never seen her. I just know she exists.
No, Bonnie Blue I don't think is very good looking, but Lily Phillips is way too pretty to need to resort to this kind of stuff.
So, I just don't understand what's causing it. Is she mentally fucked up somehow, or is it an emotional plea for attractive? I don't understand why would you do that?
I think she's friends with Bonnie Blue and she sees it as like a competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But what kind of woman would take somebody up on that competition?
2 skanks.
I know, but it's got to be more than just skanks. There's got to be something behind it. To do
I think
1,000?
There's clearly something mentally wrong with both of them.
Daddy issues and way to get money cheap.
Yeah, I guess.
They make a lot of money doing stupid shit like that. I wouldn't want to. I don't think AIDS is worth money, but
no.
But some people feel better about having money in their pockets and not a lot of anything else. I think that's what it is. I think it's daddy issues. They have their own mental health issues and money.
Well, there's certainly guys out there who will do just about anything to make money too. So I guess that point is, global amongst the humans.
Yeah, I mean, but I think they want it for different reasons. I think men want resources to get women. That's the main reason that most guys want money, is because women want money, and if they have money, they can get women.
Well, to get off on a completely separate topic, the music poll is tied up, of course.
Oh, right.
Oh, God.
Indeed.
How does this happen?
I think because we've got 4 options and 9 votes, it's going to be hard to distribute those 9 votes without causing a tie.
Yeah.
So I think let it run a little longer, see if we can get some more votes to break the tie.
If anybody has not voted in the music poll, please vote for the music poll, regardless if you don't like the band or whatever reason.
Yeah. Just pick one of the options and vote for it. Even if you don't know what any of them sound like, or just go for it.
Yeah. We have more than 9 people out there, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, it says 15 people are watching and 9 people have voted. So there's still some votes left on.
Six votes sitting out there. Be the one to break the tie.
Here we go. We went up to 11.
Woo.
And it's still tied.
Of course it is. That's the way it works for us. I have not voted yet. Have you guys voted already?
Yep. I did.
I have not voted. I do not want to be the tiebreaker. I'm the guy who's going to vote for whoever's at 0. Somebody's got to break the tie. All right, we'll let it run.
Yeah.
We'll let it run. I haven't heard any complaints about the fact that I picked Def Leppard for tonight. Nobody has said anything about that. So at least, of course, now saying that, someone's going to give me shit for it. But we had to come up with a D, and we did Devo, and we did
David Hasselhoff.
We did Dave Bowie, and we did Devo. I think were the 2 previous bands that we had done before.
Yes.
So we're on to Def Leppard. If I have another choice, I'll pick another band. Eventually, we'll have to wrap around and run out of D's.
Well, as long as you do Purple at least once, I'll be good.
Yeah,
See, it's not a band, but I would have gone with Dennis Leary because it's been forever since I heard the Jackass song.
There's only one song that he's released.
Oh, he's got a whole album. It's just nobody knows the whole album. They just know about the Jackass song. Not because he's a jackass.
Vanity Kane? Who's that?
I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
Dokken? Okay, that's an option.
Dokken. Kind of outside of our normal kind of music. But
yeah.
I have heard them.
I have heard of Dokken.
H, can we do Harry Belly Fight? I don't have a single song, nor do I know any songs by him, but I do know he's a very popular...
I think he did Dayo, like Daylight Come and Me One Go Home. I think that was him.
Wasn't he? I thought he was an actor. Henry Belafonte? Wasn't he an actor?
No. I don't know who you're thinking of, but this guy was, I think he was Jamaican.
You can't do H for Van Halen. That's a V.
True.
We don't have any V's. So we can force them to...
The Green Badger says Def, Deicide, Deftones, Disincarnate. We probably can't use any of those suggestions, unfortunately.
Digital Underground. That's an option.
Yeah.
They've had a couple of songs. Crowdsource, our next D, which is what, 26 months from now or whatever?
Yeah.
It's 12 months from now. Yeah. So you're going to run into certain letters that where there's nobody there. You know, we already ran into it with X and Y.
We'll find endless reserves of bands starting with X. I just know it.
Belafonte did the Banana Boat song. Okay. I think Belafonte was before my time, wasn't he?
I don't know.
My parent, David Matthews. There you go. There's a winner. Bing, bing, bing. Rotten Corpse gets a +1. Daft Punk. Another good one.
No, I don't. I disagree. I think, around the world is not particularly good songwriting.
Well, Daft Punk is not really a songwriting group, right?
Right. But
they're DJs that did some of their own music. But at least people know who they are. I don't know who D12 is.
Yeah, and
they're so Daft Punk, the enigmatic French electronic duo.
Dave Matthews is a good one. I actually know songs by Dave Matthews Band. I don't have any, but I can track them down.
Yeah, there's a
Diamond
lot more
Rio.
single artists than necessarily group artists under
Is
D.
Diamond Rio, is that a Mexican band? Diamond Rio?
I don't know.
Dr. Dre. You could go with Dr. Dre.
No, you can't. I have never heard of this Dr. Dre. I refuse to acknowledge his.
Given current day, I'm a little bit. I don't know anybody from back then. I don't know. I don't think he has anything to do with Diddy, but still, I don't know.
Well, Dre's really not producing anything new. You know.
I don't know anything about rap. I've heard the name Dr. Dre, but I could not tell you a single thing.
He's dead. He's locked in Eminem's basement.
Oh, there you go.
Dave Brubeck. Why do I know that name? I don't know. It just sounds familiar. It sounds like a baseball player to me. Dion. Name of country. Dave Matthews, definitely. I have to look into Dave Matthews for 12 months from now. Or what, 12, 20. How often does that wrap around? 4 weeks in a month, right?
Yeah, thereabouts.
So 3 months from
now. Gunsky says Devo, Dire Straits.
We did
Dire
Devo.
Straits is awesome.
Dire Straits is good.
Don McLean, Doobie Brothers. Of that list, I like Dire Straits.
Doobie Brothers. That would be an interesting one. That's music just before me. So that'd be kind of old, but that would be interesting.
I only know 2 songs by Depeche Mode, and I like
Depeche
one
Mode.
of them.
I have some Depeche Mode stuff.
I do like Enjoy the Silence. Enjoy the
Silence, right. Yeah. That might be too popular. We're still tied,
They
folks.
also did I Just Can't Get Enough. I think that was also Depeche Mode.
Okay.
But yeah, of the 2 songs I know by Depeche Mode, I only like Enjoy the Silence.
Is somebody writing these suggestions down? Because I'm not.
I'm just looking at a list at a quick Google search.
The Doors is an excellent one. I do really like the Doors.
Doors. All right, I'm going to start writing some of these down. Let's go over them again. Doors is one. Dave Matthews. What else?
David Lee Roth, as Six recently suggested, is a good one.
Does he have solo stuff?
Oh yeah, lots of it.
All right, so Doors, David Matthews, David Lee Roth. Who else we got?
Duran Duran.
I'm gonna pass on. Oh, Duran Duran.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Maybe we did those before. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting them mixed up with NXS.
But I think we should focus on. I think we should farm E options so that you don't have to put any thought into it rather than planning 26 weeks in advance.
But they are good. They are good. Good options. The Doors.
Oh, they are.
Dave Matthews, David Lee Roth, and Duran Duran. I thought we did Duran Duran. Didn't they do View to a Kill? Isn't that Duran Duran?
I can't remember.
What are we doing in the poll? You guys are helping us out with D, but we haven't made a decision on the poll. I don't want to do it unless I have to. One more vote.
I don't think there is a song for pole dancing.
What's that?
What? Sorry, I was saying something nonsensical.
Oh, okay.
Well, you were talking about the pole, and we were looking up D bands, so I was like, I don't think there is one for pole dancing.
All we need is one more vote to break the tie.
Well,
you break the tie. Here's some incentive. You break the tie. We pick the letter D out of the list we have. You get to pick the name.
Well, let him pick E then, because otherwise I'll have to wait 26 weeks. That's half a year.
Elvis Presley. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you break the tie,
we'll do E. We'll do E. Okay.
If you break the tie, you can pick the band for E.
All right. Elvis starts the list.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the King. I actually have we ever done the King? Elvis? I don't
no, we haven't done. We just recently did the Beatles. We haven't really picked some of the big names.
I wouldn't even know what to go with. Like I know, actually most of the Elvis songs I know are like Christmas. My mom liked Elvis, but I think my dad hit her.
Hound Dog and Jailhouse Rock. Yeah, plenty of songs. You lonely tonight? He did a bunch.
But I will say, yeah, you shouldn't do this too often, where you offer an incentive for breaking the tie, because that
there'll always be a
motivates
tie, right?
No, that motivates people to not vote until the very end, in the hopes that they'll be the ones to break the tie, because you can only vote once. So if you say there's a reward for breaking the tie, then you don't want to waste your vote
just
until the very end.
E's would be, of course, my favorite band begins with E, and then
that's Wind and Fire.
Oh, that's actually an option. Let me write that down. Earth.
No, Electric Light Orchestra is his favorite band. For those in chat who don't know,
Elton John.
Yeah,
he's a good one too. Yeah.
Sir Elton. Elvis.
Green Badger says the Eagles. I'm pretty sure we've done the Eagles.
No, I don't think we have done the Eagles. We've done the Beach Boys, haven't we? I don't know if we've done the Eagles.
I thought we had. But...
I don't have any Eagles music, so we couldn't have done the Eagles.
Oh,
Eminem.
okay.
Eminem.
I must have remembered.
We could do Eminem. See.
Evanescence. I don't know if that's quite a good fit for the outro, but I mean, I like some of their songs.
Eric Clapton.
Oh, that's a good one.
Rhythmics.
Yeah.
We're getting more E's than we did D's. That tells you something.
Yeah. Elvis Costello, the other Elvis.
Not that Elvis, the other Elvis.
Yeah. He's friends with Chad.
Well, we wrapped that up around, didn't we? What do you call that? I have some Earth, Wind, and Fire. I have In the Stone and Written in the Stone. I have them 2 names. Everclear. Eve 6.
Okay.
Eurotrip. Prides. I have a couple of E's here, but they're not well-known people. Just like one-hit wonders. But our E list is bigger than our D list.
Yes. Let's see, who have I got? Epica. There you go. Perfect choice. It's think Nightwish. That style of music.
Okay. We should think about doing Nightwish for N.
N.
Yeah. We should consider that.
No, Epica is probably my favorite symphonic metal band. So I mean, I don't think it's probably a very good fit for the outro, but if you do decide to do Epica, I will not complain.
Nightwish did a song called Wishmaster. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. That's about it. I mean, I'm looking through my list of stuff on iTunes.
Well, if the guys don't want to break the tie and get a pick at the E's.
It doesn't look like they're gonna.
They don't want to do it.
Or they just don't have people to do it.
Yeah, maybe everyone's already voted, and
everybody else is like, I don't really care for the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make one for the team and just close your eyes and pick one, and you're fine. I do it too.
We've got less than a minute to go. I think Hammer has to break the tie.
Yeah, looks like it. For people who don't know, Animal and Photograph are the two.
Yes.
We can run another. Well, we don't have time. I was gonna say I can run another one between just those two.
No, we don't have time.
Well, because Animal is probably more common, more well known between the two of them, I'm gonna go with Photograph.
There you go.
Numbers if they decide to register. This is weird. Watching the numbers are not changing even though I picked. Still says 11 votes. Refresh my screen. I voted, but it didn't register my vote.
Oh dear. Well, I suppose it doesn't really matter. You've picked photograph. Just use that as the outro.
Yeah, even though the end poll is going to say 45-45, I actually did pick photograph as a leader.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to be the song for tonight. So I got to take a second and find it on my hard drive.
Mm-hmm. In the pictures folder.
Yep. This folder underneath. Stream music. My roommate or my next door neighbor never came over. That's odd. Okay, so photograph is the song for tonight. Electric Banana Band?
I've never heard of them.
Me either. Cool name for a band, though.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, now that we have our song, I guess we can get out of here, right?
Yes, we can.
So you guys got something else? No?
No, I'm good.
Oops. That wasn't the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. There we go. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. If you can't wait for the next Wednesday show, remember, the Minions are live every evening, except Tuesday, with most shows starting at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 6 days a week. Post and start times are linked in the description down below. Don't forget about the Rumble pre-show, where we have all the fun. That stream will start generally about half an hour before YouTube, 8:30ish, when everyone's here. We'll be back next Wednesday, as usual. I guys hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.